I got the air conditioner on behind me, and I'm just going to do an eye level video right now because it's kind of blowing my hair all over the place. Is that okay? Can you hear me? All right, whatever. So, okay, this video is kind of brief. Okay, even though I don't even really want to talk about the subject, remote viewing is a form of Warlock activities. When you hear the word remote viewer, you're actually referring to a Warlock. We are engineers outside of our mind and biological capabilities, so by that, trade secret, which is not with me because I'm a whistleblower Warlock, you'll know that you can actually modify your brain outside of its normal biological, what seems to be its normal biological grid. Once you do that, you start to engineer outside of that. You probably no stopping you at that point. It's like walking to investigate the first tide pools on the ocean, near the ocean, and then eventually you can go swimming. You know, I mean, okay, so that's how I work. That's how I roll. Eye level. I can do magic during the day, but it's a different kind. It's more of an engineering task, not so much a dream engineered task using other advisors. So it's kind of a lone expertise. You really, watch your habituation to it, because trying to do magic during the day can also follow things up sometimes. So try not to, because it may be corrected in a different way while you're sleeping and you just aren't aware of it. So you gotta be careful about it. Magic is conducted using various ways, and when I found out how a long time ago, way before I started visiting other YouTubers, I started figuring out how to get past glitches and do different things on the phone. And when I say that, I'm just talking about engineering different things using. And I noticed when there'd be a problem with an overprocessed or improperly processed, kind of action, that I would get into it and I'd see, okay, I made a mistake on that one. Well, what did I do wrong? Was it Wi-Fi connection? Could have been a bad connection, could have been slow, whatever. It didn't load right. It's corrupted. So I figured these things out, and then as you grow through that, you also learn, hey, this is connected to that shit outside there. So you start using whatever techniques you have at your hand, including your phone. You start doing that from your phone, using simple things like augmentation of video filters and so forth. And you also learn that you can also not exactly overprocess anything if you do it right. For instance, if you process something at 1080p, you can put it in 480p later because it's already processed at 1080p, so you don't have to use up all that memory. I'm pretty sure I'm right there, but hey, I've never looked it up because I'm not that kind of a wizard where I go fucking search up mankind's viewpoint on it, but pretty much that's how I feel. So, a Warlock also engages in various things and activities that are outside the bounds of the normal everyday human. And when I say that, it just means that we are willing, like to do things that cause adrenaline, like skateboarding and shit that's a little bit off the wall and stuff. A Warlock is easier to spot that way, and some of them are always never going to be quite a Warlock because they just are off on the adrenaline. They're not just off expanding their mind. So the same with music. Now, I don't always make the best music, but when I do, I feel like I've landed some communications, at least between me and the music I made. Does it mean I'm fucking really bad or ass at anyone? No, but I use it as a mechanism for higher things outside of the music. Ever thought of that? Yes. Not the people out there, really, and it's a good excuse if you don't have a crowd. It's convenient. So what? I don't care. I'm not looking for a crowd. And that's it. So I just landed on 420 when I finished that conference, or that information relay. And so what I'm saying is, what I do is I make magic on occasion. Sometimes they're referred to as conjures during the day. At night, it's a whole different thing. It's not really a conjure at that point. It's really just straight to the subject matter, and it doesn't have a time delay. Because I'm a time distortion time warlock. DTW is your first word. About as close as you can get to Doctor Who without being science fiction bullshit, okay? But during the day, I'm really simplistic. Everything everything has to be conjured. So to conjure something, I found out I could manifest a conjure really quickly using technical equipment, such as even a small Android phone, some different things. And now, of course, do I look at other people's stuff and get influenced? Of course, a warlock gets influenced by other humans. Of fucking course we do. And that's one of the things. We're just as influenced because we're still human. We're just warlocks now. So when I see people do stuff like, oh yeah, and I just found it. Wow, now I can do this. Yeah, of course, a warlock takes every opportunity. He's not copying anyone. He just uses every opportunity. It's just like you go to school and learn how to do that shit. So basically, they're other people's shit, so you can fucking figure it out. So don't fucking hate on copiers. Copying is part of the influence of a musician. Doesn't mean you want to go out and play somebody's shit exactly the same way, but at least change it up enough, maybe even change the beat to where you can't recognize it. That's the thing. When you're a musician, it's always about trickery, but it's trickery for the possession of your spirit for a short time, and then a good evening, have a good day kind of thing. When you make music, it's not like you're trying to be invasive to them, just trying to get them on that alpha wave, land it, and move on. So that's what a warlock does, and we also do that when we're doing magic. So when I'm making multiple, let's say, the background to that UFO thing I did just recently, the UFOs are fake. I just put them up there so I could get a kind of a base for feeling of how much distance it was to the planet surface of Mars. And then when I pointed out what I thought was a city, I really can't say for nothing. It looked like there's actually more structural information in there. But what I did do is I used other pictures that were a little mystical that I took around the house, and I used them to convey the magic using other filters to get the Mars surface. I can also do that with other things. That's what a warlock does. We can manipulate things to an extent which is a little past norm, and actually make a random picture on a house turn into an exact feature on the planet of Mars.